Ladies and gentlemen, 2027 election is not as easier as a lot of people can think. And I've deeply looked into it. And today I want to give you an analogy or my thinking so that you can also tell me your contribution or your thought about it. And for the opposition, and this is why Rigathi Gachagua himself, as much as popular he is, he's been insisting that the opposition must remain united. That's the basic line of the opposition. That's the foundation of the opposition. Should the opposition split, then things are going to be worse or very complicated. And I want to give you the numbers, and I want us to look into patterns that can play out come 2027, and why it's very important for the opposition to remain united, because it's important for their numbers to match up. And without further ado, we are going to dive into it. But if you're watching for the first time, always remember to subscribe, like the video, and appear you can drop a comment in the comment section. Ladies and gentlemen, in the election of 2022, President Ruto and Raila Odinga garnered the total votes were about 14 million cast votes for the presidency. Wale wa Kenya walitoka kupiga kura wote walikuwa about for presidency, ukiweka pamoja they were roughly about 14 million. So, come 2027, of course, with the expected rise in the registration of valid people are wanting to vote, and with the expectation that a lot of people, the number might go high because of the current circumstances, which is usual as a country progresses, the number of people voting increases. At the worst case scenario, or at the maximum numbers, we are going to have an increase of 4 million votes. So, from 14 million, we are going to go to 18 million votes. And this is now where I want to explain to you why things can get complicated if the opposition splits. So, if you are going to 18 million votes, then for a candidate to win, if you are only two candidates running, two horse race, like it was in 2022, where it was between Raila Odinga and President Ruto, half of 14 million was 7 million, and actually President Ruto got 7.1 million votes. Now, a half of 18 million votes should be that the maximum number. If you are going to have 4 million new registered voters, or people who did not turn out to vote turning out, and keeping out pulling that number of valid cast votes, get me right, because of the registered numbers, you have about 21 million votes. But we have a lot of people who don't turn out to vote. We have people who have left Kenya to other countries. We have people who have passed away. We have people who have lost IDs. A lot of cases happen, and the turnout cannot be 100%. So that's why I'm taking to 18 million votes at the maximum case scenario. So if you have 18 million people turning out to vote, and the competition is between two candidates, then you have to get 9.5 million votes. That one now will be the 50 plus 1% votes to win of the cast valid votes. So you have to get the 9.5 million votes. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do the mathematics right now between the opposition votes and the Raila Ruto side votes, depending on how regions will vote and the way the dynamics of politics is playing out, a lot of people think that President Ruto will get maybe 2 million or 3 million votes. You are very wrong. President William Samoei Ruto, if he's going to get the support of Raila Odinga, he is going to get more than that number of votes. Because the people of the Rift Valley, his own people will vote for him. Watasema huyu ni mtoto wetu, hatuwezi, they will vote for him, the people of the Rift Valley. If President Ruto picks a running mate from the Luo Nyanza region, the Luo Nyanza region will entirely vote for him. They have already shown it during the demonstration. They were very cool, and Raila Odinga has also shown all possible indication that he might support President Ruto come 2027. If you put the Kalenjin votes together, if you put the Luo Nyanza votes together, even if the entire Luo won't vote for him, a good number of votes will vote for him. And equally, as much as Raila Odinga has lost popularity, Raila Odinga, you cannot say he has lost 100% popularity. From amongst other regions or other tribes, Raila Odinga commands some percentage of left trust. So Raila Odinga can deliver, at the worst case scenario, 2 million votes to President Ruto. Ukiongeza za Luo Nyanza, now they'll be excited, they have the running mate. Uongeze za President Ruto from the Mount Kenya, from the Rift Valley region, those people will begin, the two candidates will begin at a worst case scenario of 4 million votes. They will begin with that number, 4 million votes. Raila Odinga and President Ruto. And remember that these two principals, especially President Ruto, they have the resources, which is very essential in the campaigns. Wako na zile resources to push out and do the campaigns. So if you're going to push the two together, they are going to get 4 million votes za kwanzia. Now, let me tell you why it's very interesting. So if they get 4 million votes za kutoka kwao, and do you think they're going to get 0% in Western region? Do you think they're going to get 0% in Nairobi region? Do you think that they're going to get 0% in coastal region? Do you think they'll get 0% in northeastern region? No. The baseline here is that watasanya pia za kusanya, they'll get northeastern region. Even Duala has been saying that they are ready to vote for President Ruto. Ruto has made trips to the northeastern region, and these people will vote for him. A good some percentage will vote for him. Even if it's people will reject, some good percentage will vote for him, especially when leaders from certain regions are behind these two leaders. Otherwise, if regions like coastal region, you have Joe, you have Raila campaigning for you, there is no possibility that you are going to get 10%. You get a good whooping of 30+%. So 4 million votes na za kusanywa from every part of the Kenya. These people will be at 6. These two candidates, let me use the right now. These two candidates will be at 6, about 6 point something million votes. Let's say they collect 2 million votes from the other parts of the country, from the Ma, from the western, northeastern. They collect from coastal region, Nairobi. Obviously, the people will eventually vote for them. So they will be at about 6.2 to 6.5 million. If they are going to get about 2.2 extra votes, so this is the number of votes they are going to have, or to start, or they even in their calculation they know that they are assured of, and if they are going to use their resources eventually well to do the campaigns. 6.5 million votes. So out of the 18 million votes, we said kura zinabaki ngapi ukitoa 6.5? Zinabaki 11.5 million votes. So if there are two candidates running for presidency, then the opposition will eventually win with about 10 million plus votes, while this side has about 6 point something million votes there. And that's my analogy. You can tell me what you think. Now, let me tell you why it's very the funny part of this, and why it's very dangerous if the opposition splits, and why even Rigathi Gachagua himself anasema kuwa they must remain united. Matiangi the other day was in an interview in K24 and said that they must do everything possible to be united. In any case the opposition splits, so walikuwa wamebakisha 11, wameshinda na 11.5. Let's say we'll have other candidates getting some votes. Let's say they have 10 million votes. In a case that these candidates will get 200,000 votes, 500,000. We expect that a lot of people will run for the 2027 presidency. Watapata kura kidogo kidogo. Let's say give the opposition 10 million votes. So walikuwa wameshinda na 10 million votes. Imagine now what will happen if the opposition splits into two equal factions. Viongozi wagawanyike, leaders wagawanyike, they form two strong coalitions. What will happen if they form two strong, very strong coalitions? They divide the 10 million votes. Even if it's 11 million votes, they divide the 11 million votes. If you divide the 11 million votes, you're at 5.5. What about the other side? They were already at 6.5 million votes. Even if you come close to them, the other candidates, even if you are number one, but you are about at 6.5 million votes. And with the manipulation of votes, na game ikichezwa kidogo, at 6.5 million votes, and another candidate at 6 million votes, it's very, very difficult to determine who is ahead even in the opinion polls. It's very difficult. In any case, that election goes to a runoff, who will have an upper hand. Now there the resources will play out, promises will play out, and it's going to be even difficult if the opposition splits. Others, listen, that's my knowledge. You can tell me what you think in the comment section. I'll take more time to read and give you a response why the position should not split. It's a do or die for the position. Have a nice day, stay safe whenever you are, and be well.